And do you remember that the Nobles told you that the driver of the vehicle was bald?
I do remember that being in the report, yes.
And you didn't mention that today when you were talking about that ring camera, did you?
Interesting.
I did not.
Now, the biggest bombshell, I guess you can say, or the most damaging thing against the lone wolf narrative, especially as it relates to this specific video, is the eyewitness testimony from the Nobles who provided this video of their Ring doorbell footage to the prosecution. And what did the Nobles tell the authorities about what they saw that day? Take a listen.
Looking at that interview, does that refresh your recollection?
I remember reading the report at some point, yes.
And do you remember that the Nobles told you that the driver of the vehicle was bald?
I do remember that being in the report, yes.
And you didn't mention that today when you were talking about that ring camera, did you?
Interesting.
I did not.
And did they also tell you there were 3 other people in the car?
Yes, I believe they thought that was the case.
Okay. And I conveniently forgot to let people know that that was the case. The eyewitness who provided that Ring doorbell footage claimed that the driver of the vehicle was bald. They also claimed that there were 3 other people in that vehicle. So what I've just presented to you all today is the individual that they're telling us is Tyler Robinson does not look like Tyler Robinson. The only piece of evidence that places Tyler Robinson on that roof, allegedly, is DNA from a screwdriver that was found by an officer whose body cam footage died as soon as he went up onto that Losee Center rooftop, which is suspicious. It's suspicious. That screwdriver was never mentioned in any official documents by the investigative authorities or the prosecution in this case. It was initially mentioned by CNN, a news outlet who had heard it from a source. So it was leaked from a source to CNN. That is where the initial claim of the screwdriver came about. It was not until the preliminary hearing and hearing from Officer Bagley, who recovered the screwdriver, whose body cam footage died, that the screwdriver was then entered into official record. We have instances clearly where this individual who was on that Losee Center rooftop, whether you believe that's Tyler Robinson or not, was interacting with his phone and interacting with vehicles throughout the day, leading up to, during, and after the assassination took place. We have selectively edited footage by the FBI and by even the prosecution, who submitted edited footage of the UVU surveillance video into evidence in this case. And then we have, which has been unconfirmed, but if what Stu Peters is saying is true, is that we have this individual who then jumped off this Losee Center rooftop and continued across the street, potentially could have met with other individuals along the tree line. He says that we'll see it. We'll be looking out and we'll be looking very much forward to that as this investigation continues along. Something for all of us to keep in mind. And then finally, we have Ring doorbell footage from a family in the neighborhood who the prosecution is telling us Tyler Robinson was in with his Dodge Challenger looking for the rifle. The eyewitness who provided that footage said that the driver of that vehicle was bald and there were 3 other people in the car. If you believe, after being presented with all of this, that there is a lone wolf assassin in the Charlie Kirk assassination case, I question your discernment and I question your decision making. I don't understand how you cannot remain open-minded to the fact that this might be bigger than just Tyler Robinson, or that may not have been Tyler Robinson on the rooftop at all. I think it's certainly reasonable and prudent to continue to ask these questions to ensure that we get the truth about what happened to Charlie Kirk. And then the last thing that I will say here is, because the implications of this, if said individual whether it be Tyler Robinson or not, was working alone. If he was not working alone, so if everything that I presented here in this video today holds, then the text messages between Tyler and Lance are called into question. Why are they called into question? Because Lance allegedly asked Tyler if anybody else was involved. And the response back says, not to my knowledge.